Hi everybody, this is Sunflower, and I'm here joined by Dr. Gumaer.
Hey, how's it going?
And we're going to talk a little bit about Orcs Must Die 2, the game from Robot Entertainment that comes out on the 30th of July, 2012. They've talked about Orcs Must Die 2 as being sort of like Gears of War 2, as being just bigger and more badass. At first glance, would you say that that's true with Orcs Must Die 2?
I would totally agree. It hasn't been long enough for an actual new sequel. I mean, it's only been 9 months, so this is pretty much everything you would want added to Orcs Must Die 1.
Yes, it adds a few very notable things, one of those being the much-requested online cooperative play. And Doc and I got some time in with the cooperative mode, and I feel a little overpowered, but it was still in the beginning of the game that we were trying it out, so it could get a lot tougher further on down the line, but there's also a couple extra game modes that you can also play cooperatively that are brutally hard on your own, so there will definitely be a place for you to play with your friends and get a real challenge.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the story mode ramps up near the end, so you're kind of forced to play co-op or really have to think about what you're doing, what traps you're setting.
Now, they added a couple different modes. There is Classic Mode, which are Orcs Must Die 1 maps. I believe you get those for free if you own the first Orcs Must Die. Otherwise, there is a fee behind those. And there is also Endless Mode, which is apparently if you make it to wave 40, that's considered beating it, but it continues on afterwards where the orcs continue to show up. So it's just a test of willpower between you and your partner to see if you can put up the right defenses and hang in there long enough to be victorious. Now, there's a lot of new traps, a whole bunch of them. Some of them are character-specific because there are two different characters that you can choose from. You can choose the War Mage, who is the female.
No, the War Mage is the original character.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. The War Mage is the original character, and the Sorceress can charm enemies and push them away.
So yeah, it's a nice balance because the co-op forces you to play as each character, so you both have those unique traps and the unique weapons and abilities right at the start. Very nice.
It's good that it's not necessarily symmetrical cooperative play. I would hang back as the Sorceress, while Doc as the War Mage would get down and dirty and up in their face. And I'd do what little I could to charm certain enemies and distract them from Doc while he lays the hurt on them. But we also do have individual different traps, and what is cool about all these traps is the spell book from the first game, where you could select what traps you want, is very much revamped, and you can upgrade your traps in this one. Yeah,
the upgrade system in the original one was kind of boring. It wasn't really specific. It would just tell you, okay, you can upgrade this for so many skulls, and there was only one option. Every single trap, every single weapon, every single accessory now has upgradable options, and they also have extra little bits, like there's our unique options, in which, like for the arrow traps that I had the option to either have them have them reset faster or have them do fire arrows. And I can
then you went with the fire arrows, I saw them.
Yeah, I can only have one of those two options at a time. I paid for one of those upgrades, but if I want to, I can go back to the spellbook and just switch to the other one without having to use extra skulls, which is really convenient.
Yes, it's very nice that there's no extra cost to respec your trap trees, so to speak. And like Doc said, there's a unique upgrades for each one of these traps, some of them offering quicker reset times, like you said, sometimes different range, sometimes added effects. There's a lot of really creative things you can do, and when you go into these levels, it does not feel like there's only one way to go. It doesn't feel like if you made the wrong choice and you've decided to pick a lot of acid sprayers on the level or a lot of arrow traps, you're going to be screwed because you really should have picked the dwarf bombers or something like that. It's very open-ended in that respect and makes for a much, much better game this time around.
Yeah, what helps is that it is a tower defense, but you can move your character around and have them attack. So it's real-time tower defense. And just if you kind of mess up in picking, like, okay, these weren't the best traps, you are going to have to work a little bit harder, but you can still get it done.
Yeah, and you can also sell your old traps for the exact amount that you paid for it. So sometimes if you did manage to screw yourself over in a small way, you just got to hang in there long enough until the wave's done, and then you can reassess what you're doing, sell things, and arrange them properly. Now, so far the game's been on a much better difficulty curve than the first game. It does not feel like you are overpowered from the beginning. However, things are much, much easier for you. I haven't yet hit a wall in the game. I've had some tough parts, and you do some replaying to unlock more skulls. And another nice thing, the skulls are what fuels your upgrades, and there's also vanity items as well, in case you want to change costumes, but they're very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But as you play, you earn skulls, and there's not a fixed number of skulls necessarily that you can get in any one level. Sometimes skulls will drop in the level to get you extra skulls, bonus skulls, that give you reason to go back and replay levels that maybe you've already got 5 skulls on, which is the rating system as well. So there's lots of reasons to go back and play previous levels. I played some previous levels with Doc, and that ended up making me a much stronger player because I was able to upgrade more of my traps with more skulls, and it really felt good.
And one of the things that will get you back into playing the older levels is that they still have the leaderboards from the original game, and everything is given a score. So judging out how well you did on the level, you get a score. You compare it to the community as a whole, or you compare it to just your friends that own the game. So it does have that little bit extra level. You can co-op, or you can have a little bit of a competition. It's really fun.
Now, Doc and I talked about this, and we've decided to give Orcs Must Die 2 an 8 out of 10, because overwhelmingly positive for this game, especially for the price point. $15, you can buy it on Steam. It is not available for any of the consoles, unlike the first one. However, mouse and keyboard's the way to go. The game is absolutely fantastic, and the addition of cooperative play is one of the biggest bonuses and the most fun that you can have with this game that they could possibly give you.
Yeah, they fixed all of the problems from the original game. They included co-op. You can respec everything in the all of your upgrades. So, I mean, if you own the first game, this is a must-buy. And if you just like this style of just zany, lots of things happening, blowing things up, and you have a friend, definitely pick it up.
And it does have a lot of humor in it, and there is a story mode, but it is not a heavy-handed story. It gets you into the action pretty quick, so it doesn't take very long. Highly recommend this game to anybody who enjoys this. Just like Doc said, the first game, if you've played it, you will love the second one because it truly is bigger, better, and more badass than the first.
Yep, and thank you for Robot to letting us review this game.